Hey guys, welcome back to another stream here. My name is Najarro, and today we're going to take a quick look at what's happening around in the market. Like always, guys, feel free to post questions in the comments. I'll gladly answer anything. But let me get a quick second to just get everything started real quick. I hope everybody's having a good day today. I haven't really looked too much at the market. Is it red? Is it green right now? I just know UiPath, they just reported earnings yesterday, and the stock price is down a nice amount. So we'll take a quick look at that. But like I said, guys, feel free to post questions on the comments, and let's see if we can get this episode started. So right now we are still, give me a quick second, guys. Let me just take a quick look at earnings. What's going on, David? What's going on, Gordon? Thank you guys for the support. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me just take a quick look at, all right, I think it should be good to go. What's going on, David? How's everything, David Becker? So right now we are on Wednesdays. Today, before the market opened, we had Genius Sports actually report earnings. Now I'm actually a bit curious. Genius Sports stock, how did they do? So stock price kind of dipped before market opened and then kind of pulled up. Right now it's pretty much flat. So this is actually an interesting. What's going on, Kendo? So we had Genius Sport kind of report earnings today, this morning. After the market closed, we have some, I want to say, some interesting ones for sure. GameStop is reporting earnings after the market closed. Maybe some of you guys might be excited about that. I know a lot of you guys keep telling me about SentinelOne. This is a cybersecurity company. I haven't really followed it too much, but I do follow CrowdStrike, and you guys do talk about it a bit. I don't know any other of these today, but tomorrow we do have some more software companies. So we're kind of at the bottom end of earnings week. We have Sumo Logic tomorrow. We have Zscaler tomorrow. We have Affirm tomorrow after the market close. So those are some big, I want to say, software companies. So what's going on, David? So far a bit red, but might be a good thing for things I want. So David Becker, what are you thinking of buying at the moment, if I may ask? Is anybody buying any companies at the moment? Gordon Lovesack, is that actually reporting earnings? I know some of you guys, oh yes, they do. They report tomorrow. What's going on, Knight? What's your opinion on Amazon? Gordon, online furniture. And Knight, give me one quick second. I just want to take a quick look at some more stuff, but we can definitely take a quick look at Amazon and Lovesack. And David, we'll take a look at PRF ETF. I'm not familiar with that one. Kendall bought some $9 long calls on PaySafe while it's at these levels. So Kendall, that's pretty good, right? I mean, best of luck to you. I am bullish in PaySafe right now. If I may ask, how long are those calls? Are they leap calls or are they just a few months in? David Becker, you're looking for PFE and some RITs. Hi Kendall, I did the same for PaySafe. Nice, Gordon. So we have two people bullish on PaySafe right now. Same here. I've done a few videos on PaySafe. PaySafe is slowly every other week. I feel like I am increasing into PaySafe. But nice, Gordon. So you ended up selling some puts on it, and then if they go below, you get them at a cheaper price. If not, you are kind of taking that form of premium on that selling put. So best of luck, Gordon, to you. Kendall, January at $1.40 a piece. Nice. So best of luck, Kendall. But let's see. So earnings look okay. I mean, there's nothing too crazy. I do think earnings season start again in with the big companies in October, early November. But let's take a quick look at the market. Right now we have Dow is up 0.12%. We have Nasdaq down 0.32%. And then we have the S&P 500 pretty much flat for the day. If we take a quick look at the maps, let's get out of these ads. Where's the X here? Close, all right here. So we right now we don't see much happening in the market. Everything's still pretty much flat. Nvidia is definitely kind of pulling down a bit. Yesterday, AMD and Nvidia were kind of down. Today, Nvidia is down to 1.84%. AMD is down 1.47%. And Micron is definitely taking a huge hit, down 2.27%. But we do see Disney is up 1.38%. So definitely not too much to talk in the market in forms of some of the big players. But let's take a quick look at stock tweets. Maybe we can see some stuff that are trending. So right now, Genius Sports, right? They just reported earnings down 0.38%. Path. I just recently did an episode on Path. Is anybody here a bull on Path, on UiPath right now? I definitely didn't think their earnings were bad. Earnings seems pretty strong. I do want to say at the end of the day, this company is just really affected by the overall valuation it's at right now. Right. So I do want to say it's probably a bit, for where it's at right now, a bit overvalued, but I can definitely see why investors are excited about UiPath. There's nothing else that seems to be down. Coupa Software, they reported, I do believe they reported yesterday, they are down about 1.5%. Ooh, Clover is actually down about 10%. But PayPal, we also see. Workhorse is down. Let's take a quick look at Clover. Clover Health is down below $10 right now. What it means by lockup period for UiPath. So Gordon, so when a company goes IPO, right? When a company goes in IPO, insiders, and sometimes other type of early investors are not able to sell out shares right off the bat. Normally, and there's always different rulings, but normally the overall rule is, after lockup expiration, that's when insiders, or usually some of the big holders, are able to start selling all their shares. So right now, it all depends on how the company kind of defined it, but usually the normal meaning is, if you're usually an insider, if you're usually some form of huge holder at the beginning prior to IPO, you have to wait X amount of days before you can start to sell some shares. And normally when a company goes IPO and during the lockup expirations, you start to see a huge volume of insiders start to sell, which kind of create this form of negative volatility in stock prices. It's not always a guaranteed, but it is something I have looked at, I have seen happen in the past. So something investors should keep in mind of, right, Gordon? But that's more of just short-term volatility. It's not something that would affect the stock in the long terms. So let's see. Let's answer some questions right now. So Kendall, we are gonna end up in Square, but first let's start up with the top of the list. We have David Hohen. He asked about PRF ETF. Let's take a quick look at PRF. I'm not too familiar with this ETF. So PRF ETF. They are Invesco's future. Their IPO at $64, not too far off. Yes. So right there. Was that their IPO price? Mm, Thanks for the explanation. I think I thought their IPO price was a little bit lower than that. Yeah, so they actually IPO'd at $56, it seems, Gordon. But they kind of, I think when it opened up at a very high price. But I do think their IPO above their at $56. And I think that was an increase of their original price as well. So PRF ETF, this is David Hohen. Hopefully you're still here. So this is an ETF. They follow the 1,000 index. The fund will normally invest at least 90% of its total assets. Let's take a quick look at some of its holdings. Let me see what are your thoughts on it. So right off the bat, I want to see, do they have performance portfolio? So right now, it seems to be a very distributed ETF. They're in financials, information, health tech, healthcare, industrials. They have a huge blend. Large cap 32%, large cap growth about 14%. Some of their top holdings, right? Top holdings are Apple, which own 2.52%, Microsoft 1.9%, JPM 1.82%. I do want to send their management fees. So total expense ratio is about 0.39%. In all honesty, based on the way this is looking, David Hohen, I personally, with this type of holdings, I would invest in something like the SPY instead, that has, me personally, that has a lot less expense ratios. All right, total expense ratios of 0.4% for something holding very typical names, and these names are very, very small percentage of our overall portfolio. I'm not a huge fan of, right? Not my overall thoughts. But maybe you might have some, and maybe some other people might have some different thoughts about this ETF called PRF to be not the best one. I would rather invest in the SPY instead. So next question, we have Knight. What is your opinion on Amazon? Let's take a quick look at Amazon stock. So Amazon stock is one. It's one of the few big companies that is not in my portfolio at the moment, and I don't think it's gonna be in my portfolio. But that doesn't mean I'm bearish in it. This is definitely a strong company. Amazon right now, the stock price is not overextended. This is kind of growing. I mean, it's definitely a growing company. We can see for the past since June of 2020, Amazon has kind of really been trading in this trend, a little bit kind of uptrending over it, but overall price movement hasn't been too much. So if I was bullish in Amazon, these are probably the levels I personally would buy into. I do want to say Amazon, but at these moments, it will be more like dollar cost average, not do big buys, more just small buys over time. Amazon is a strong company. I don't see this going anywhere. Strong balance sheet, strong growth. They're expanding with their advertisement platforms. They're still expanding into new countries. So Amazon, if it's one I wouldn't mind holding in my portfolio, but one I don't own at the moment. Prices right now don't seem to scream too crazy in my opinion. So let's see what else we have. Hey Jose, did you buy any Autodesk? No, Greystone. I have not bought any Autodesk yet. That is so normally I did that video on Tuesday, Greystone. I usually buy on Thursdays or Fridays, so that's when I'm gonna end up buying any of those companies that I did. Autodesk, I want to see, has that pulled up a bit recently? No, it's actually still kind of sitting at very attractive levels. I really do like Autodesk and the overall 3D modeling. I still haven't decided which two or if I'm going to buy all four companies. So Kendo, wonder why body is so low. Today, I believe it's at 52 week. Yep, it's at 52 week. So Kendo, right? I mean, I do want to say right now, it does seem like a lot of the excitement in some of these SPACs, especially in the overall fitness, has kind of decreased. I haven't really looked at any news for body. Let's see if there's any recent news for body right now. Body's investors relations website. Have they done any form of public offering? I haven't. It doesn't seem like there has been any major changes. Maybe let's take a quick look at Twitter real quick. Let me just go here real quick. Give me one quick second, guys, and see what's really driving this body stock price decrease. So I do believe Twitter from time to time could be a great tool to use. Doesn't mean it's a must tool, but I believe a lot of information can be due. And Gordon, I'll definitely take a look at HIMS in a bit. Since you are a member, we'll look at yours after. So body, right, definitely sitting at 52 week. There doesn't seem to be much volume outside of that 9.7. So it's just really looking for some form of support. I want to see if there's anything here. So loading body just looks too cheap here at massive supports. I would be shocked to see it lower. So right now it is going lower after that report 21, after that tweet 21 hours ago. So hopefully he's not too shocked. Added more to body position at $7.13. Body is red day, yawn, same old, neutral on this, but refused to sell for a loss. So it doesn't seem like there is much of a I think maybe the body's biggest thing is they are seeing some form of competition. So iFit is expected to IPO, expected to IPO, so that kind of competition growth in just the market can already kind of dilute some form of investors. So they might kind of go into iFit, kind of sell off into body instead. Peloton is also not having the greatest day either. So it does seem, let's take a quick look at Peloton, right? It does seem Peloton, which is also in the overall fitness space, has seen better days, right? So overall, better in Peloton not doing so well could kind of be creating this form of negativity in stock price or short-term volatility for body and for some of these other companies. So let's see, what else do we have? So Gordon wants to take a quick look at HIMS. Guys, feel free to post any questions that you guys have in the comments, and I'll gladly look at them. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Austin, SE's too overstretched in price. So, we are going to look at HIMS. And Austin, I'll take a quick look at your question in a bit. But first, let's take a look at Gordon. He wants to take a look at this company. So let's go to Simply Wall Street for HIMS. So search HIMS real quick, and then now answer some of the questions real quick. So HIMS and Hers Health. This is, if we go to their website, I think I've gone to their websites, HIMS and Hers. So they're a mixture of both. It seems like they're an e-commerce company, and they're also form of a telemedicine company. So HIMS and Hers. So for HIMS.com, if you have some form of hair losses, some other forms of dysfunctions, skin care, anxiety, you can go to their website and purchase them. Some of these products that they have do need some form of referrals, so you can already kind of go through them. They already have some form of doctors or primary cares that can give you those referrals. So it's almost a one-stop shop for some of these products. They make the process easy. You can kind of answer a few questions, get a customized treatment, and kind of receive your order directly. So HIMS and Hers is pretty interesting in the market that they're hitting. If we take a quick look, they are super small, $1.5 billion in market cap. Future growth, this company is expected to grow revenue at crazy levels, 25.8% on average for the next 2 to 5 years. They're not positive and they're not profitable in cash flow from operations. So right off the bat, this is going to be a speculative play. I would want them, not a big position, right? They're still in early stages of their business. Financially, right, they do have a strong balance sheet, plenty of cash, no debt to their name. I want to take a quick look at ownership, right? They do have individuals, insiders own a good portion. General public, it's pretty divided amongst all its ownership of huge good holdings. So fundamentally, it's not bad. Finally, let's take a quick look at charts. And my microphone is kind of so HIMS right now. I want to say, right, there's definitely a lot of volume at that $7.63, in that mid $7. You can see a huge volume kind of loaded up, but there was a huge sell-off during this process. I do want to say that $7.63, a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. So if one was bullish, I think right now would be one of those times to add. At the same time, this is a very speculative play for sure. Maybe let's take a quick look at Y charts. Price to sales ratio, if they have any updates here for HIMS. Right now, obviously with stock price down, this is looking pretty cheap in price to sales ratio, 5.3%. Still very speculative play in my opinion. So Gordon, I hope that helped. So Austin, you asked SE too overstretched in price. I do want to say so, yes, right? C Limited, even though it is a big position in my portfolio, C Limited is a bit overextended. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some form of pullback, but this is a stock that hasn't stopped moving. But I do want to say there is a chance of a pullback due to it overextension. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna sell anytime soon. Kendall, I don't have any shares, but a 52-week low going into the winter could be a swing trade. That's, I'm guessing, on body for sure, right? It's definitely an interesting play. I don't usually do short-term trades, so best of luck, Kendall. David Becker, body is making me mad. LOL, this should be better than this. Agree. So David Becker, they aren't coming out with anything new fast enough, and people are not doing much more in their personal fitness. I am personally, though, seeing a little bit more advertisements on it. I want to say I've seen a lot more fitness body advertisements in the past few days, in the past month, right? While I was away on vacation, I finally had cable and I finally saw ads again. So I did see a Beachbody kind of promote. David, what's going on? Dave Silva, you added small to Sorrent's, Roku, and Stone. I am liking those picks. Looking pretty bullish. Sorrent's and Roku and Stone are definitely all on my watch list. David, HIMS, people are not buying blah blah anymore. So many other companies out there now. That is true, right? So David Becker, great point. There are a lot of competitions. I mean, I watch other YouTubers, not in the stock market, but I sometimes just watch garbage YouTube, in my opinion, for entertainment, and they do advertise a lot of those other pills. Kevin, what's going on, Kevin? Jose, can you please let me know your thoughts on VRARA? I'll take a quick look at that in a bit. Doug, hi, Jose. Check out Faro, a 3D measurement company. Also, SMCI, a manufacturer of SSD. Doug, you're coming in with some great ones. I definitely am interested on those. Let me just answer some more questions before we look at some more stocks. Polly, what's going on? Good morning. Hope you're finding green. I hope so too. Let me take a quick look at my portfolio. I actually am not finding green. Most of my big plays are red today, so I actually don't want to take a quick. I don't want to take a look at my portfolio. Only thing up for me right now is Disney, is PaySafe, is Tesla, but none of those are really big positions. Let's see. What's really down for me is Huya's down again. Stone, wow, Stone is down. Apps is down big, Skills is down big. It's definitely a big red day today. Redfin is down 3%, Tattoo Chef is down 3%. We're definitely seeing Sorens is down 2%. We have Twilio down 2% as well. Roku is down 1.5%. Upwork is down 1.4%. Shopify is down 1.2%. My buying is on Thursday, tomorrow, or on Friday. I wish these levels stay where they're at right now. So definitely interesting to see a huge market sell-off right now. Let me actually take a quick look at CNBC. They might have some questions of what's happening. S&P 500 is flat as stocks struggle for directions in September. I can't believe that's stuff like that is are trending, right? So they're just saying S&P 500 is flat just because we don't know what way to go. I mean, obviously, if we don't know what way to go, it's gonna be flat. Microsoft's 20 billion hacking plan and cybersecurity big spending problem. So cybersecurity is definitely going to be, I want to say, still a strong player. CrowdStrike is still a huge play for me, or one I want to increase. NFL data rights partner Genius Sports sees revenue double in the second quarter. Congratulations to Genius Sports. So let's see, what else do we have? Gordon, no problem on that. David Becker, that and Nom are advertisement a lot as well. I haven't heard of Noom. Which one is Noom, David Becker? Dennis, Palantir, any thoughts on going all-time high soon? Let's take a quick look, Dennis, at Palantir. I mean, all-time highs, I don't think so, right? I mean, I don't think it's going to go to all-time highs anytime soon. $44.96 is their all-time highs. Right now sitting at $25.92. I do want to say stock price is a bit overextended, so maybe, don't kill me, maybe you might see a bit of a pull down, but not a guarantee. Just the risk is a little bit higher right now. Bill Main, good morning. David Mecker, I know not in your wheelhouse, but any idea why DE is falling a bit today? Let's take a quick look. So let's see, DE right now. I mean, this is, I wouldn't say, David Becker, it just seems to be overall stock price movements. It's just the overall volatility right now in the market. Let me just, normally they have easy ways to, option trades there, reward shareholders with dividend hike, raises, that's actually a pretty nice dividend hike from 90 cents to $1.05. Prices rise, targets to $440. So I think it's just overall volatility movement at the moment. David Becker, just the way the market is moving. So let's see, guys. If I missed a question, feel free to ask a question again. Right now, we are definitely seeing a pretty red day in the market. I actually didn't think it was going to be this red today. But honestly, we've had a strong week, right? Last week, while I was in vacation and not streaming at all, the market was super green. Today, now that I'm back streaming, I don't know if there's a correlation between me streaming and the market, but now that I'm back streaming, yesterday market was down, today market is down too. But there's definitely some great buy. I want to say there's definitely some opportunities. Apps, for example, if you are bullish in the market, could be giving buying opportunities. Stone, if you want to kind of get into that fintech market in Brazil, maybe not Square. Let's see, what else do we have? Magnite, again, another ad tech. Fastly, there, if you're kind of wondering in the overall cloud edge. We have Twilio. Twilio's one that's looking really good. Sorens, for sure. Sorens is looking really good. Spotify, kind of seen a nice pull up in the past few days. Maybe kind of wait on that one a bit. Another one, Roku, right? Roku's. There's definitely a nice amount of buying opportunities out there. If you kind of have a few dollars, nothing to buy a big position right now, except maybe Roku. I think Roku is looking pretty attractive. But these are just my thoughts, right? Nowhere near advice. Nvidia is down, but I can see this going down a bit more. Look how overextended this stock price is on Nvidia. Even though Nvidia is my number one position, I can see this kind of dropping a bit. We kind of saw it here, right? You see that big red candle. I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happens. But we do need some red days after some kind of green days at the same time. Bill Main should have bought more Amazon call. It's like free money at 3,200. Nice, Bill Main. Congratulations if you made some money on those calls. Jose, when will you go on vacation again? Asking for a friend. Ed, so you're able to finally post again. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. I don't know. Next vacation, next vacation I think is in October. So actually, I think this is what we should do, right? So I'm going on vacation again in mid-October. So we should just buy now. Then I go on vacation. That's when we sell off, and I come back and we repeat again. Blizzard, any entry price range to enter? Dennis, what's going on, Dennis? So Activision, right? Obviously, if you, I want to say at these levels, look at it. It's definitely sitting at very attractive levels. I want to say right now in the high 70s, in the mid 70s. I personally, if I was looking into adding, those would be the levels, right? For Activisions, I really like it at these levels. You can see a lot of volume here. You can see it right here. Plenty of volume around these price points. So at these moments, I enjoy Activision a little bit more than EA Games. We took a look at Y charts yesterday, but let's do it again. So Y charts, let's do Activision and let's do EA Games, right? So two gaming companies, and I want to take a look at EV to EBITDA forward. So we can see both of them are actually trading very similar to each other, Activision and EA Games. Activision is actually lower. And this is why I believe Blizzard might be giving some form of buying opportunity, because historically doesn't mean it's always going to be the case, but historically Activision has always been more expensive than EA Games. There's only been certain times when they kind of meet, right here for example, but right now it's one of the first times Activision is actually cheaper than EA Games when looking at forward EV to EBITDA ratio. So something to consider, right? Activision is still going strong with Call of Duty, still going strong with their Candy Crush. I do want to say, right, the recent news with this overall threat mentality of Activision and all these lawsuits can kind of be causing a bit of this negativity in the stock price. So that it doesn't come without risk. But if those risks are not real risk in your head or in your mind, or if you kind of overlook them, I want to say Activision is definitely sitting at attractive levels right now. Right. I do believe we are still in early stages in the gaming world, especially mobile games. Right. Let's take a quick look if we continue with App Annie. And guys, if I missed a question from you, or if you had a suggestion, just feel free to post it again. But let's take a quick look. Top apps, Google Play, everything. I do believe you would see Call of Duty, right? Number 18 in the United States overall. If we take a quick look at maybe, I don't know, Argentina, number 6. Let's take a quick look at Brazil. Call of Duty, number 8. It's not a C-limited Garena Free Fire, but you also have let's see another one. Let's go back to United States. I'm pretty sure Candy Crush is also there with number 12. Doug just bought some EA earlier in this week. So I'm not trying, obviously, Doug, I'm not trying to give any negative sense on EA Games. I do believe EA Games is also right now a bit undervalued compared to where it's been in the past. I just think Activision just has a little bit better buying opportunity, but Activision, that bigger buying opportunity is coming because of all those lawsuits, right? All those lawsuits that are definitely there for the company. So, Doug, what were the questions? You want to take a quick look at I want to take a quick look at Faro. So, Doug mentioned Faro. And guys, if you had any other questions, feel free to post on the comments. I'll gladly answer. Let's just take a quick look at the market real quick. Where are you, Finviz? So, any major news right now? Nothing really affecting stock prices. Dow is pretty much flat, 0.17%. S&P 500 is pretty much flat, down 0.28%. Nasdaq is really taking a huge hit, down 0.67%. Russell 2K is also down about 0.44%. If we take a quick look at my overall portfolio, I'm definitely experiencing a red day. Not much green in me. Hope you guys are doing green. If you guys have any buying opportunities, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think are some buying opportunities right now? Maybe I can do a few videos. But abs is now down 5% on the day. We have skills down 5%. We have stone down 4.6. Redfin down 4%. So definitely, I mean, I'm not even gonna look at my portfolio today. But definitely, I mean, times like now is when you have cash. Definitely put some of that cash to work. That's what I would do. But for me, my buying days are Thursdays and Fridays, so I hope it stays like this tomorrow. So David Becker, this was Lucid News. What does this mean? This is my dumb question of the day. Company will redeem all of its outstanding public warrants to purchase shares of the company Class A common stock that were issued under the warrant agreement. So David Becker, that is not a stupid question, because at the end of the day, I don't really follow SPACs too much to understand warrants. Maybe someone has better explanations, but I'm not here going to try to lie to you, David, that I'm going to tell you I know public warrants. Warrants are definitely an interesting take. I can definitely talk about options. I can definitely talk about other stuff. But when it comes to public warrants, that's not something I'm familiar with. Stone has taken a hit this year for sure. Stone definitely taking quite a hit. And that's why sometimes, right, position sizings and kind of looking at overextensions can kind of be a little worrisome. You know, I'm actually, I don't want to bring bad juju, but looking at this chart right here, whoops. Looking at this chart right here, this chart right here kind of reminds me of C Limited, where for multiple quarters and multiple years, it was just bouncing off this kind of green line. I'm not saying C Limited is going to experience that same thing, but if we take a look, C Limited is kind of in that similar trend. So just as things can go high, things can also go down. And that's why we do our overall analysis on companies, right? To understand everything is still okay with the company. So David Becker, sorry I couldn't answer that question, but if anybody has better information on public warrants, feel free to let us know on the comments below. But let's see. So Doug, you mentioned Faro. So let's take a quick look at Faro. First, let's look. So Faro Technologies, it's definitely an older company. First thing is this kind of has had a nice run up and kind of a nice run down recently. I do believe it's not overextended anymore. A good portion of the risk has kind of been eliminated. David Becker, see, this is why I enjoy you. Thank you for reminding me about Discord channel. If you guys are new to here, I would say probably most of you are not, but if you are new, make sure to join the Discord channel. It's free to anybody that wants to join. And let me just pin it. We have a lot of great investors there, a lot of information. I don't think there's much spamming happening in that Discord. So definitely, if you, I post every time I buy, I post every time I sell. So it is pinned. So let's continue with Faro. I want to say, Doug, right off the bat, I want to say a good portion of the risk has been eliminated in forms of technicals. Stock price hasn't, is kind of sitting next to its long-term moving average. But let's see, is there a reason for this? So Faro Technologies, this is a company that designs, develops, manufactures, markets, and supports software-driven three-dimensional 3D measurement imaging. So that's actually pretty interesting. I want to take a quick look at their website to see a little bit more about it. Future growth. This company is expected to grow 12.4% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So not a slow grower, not a fast grower either. They are positive in cash flow from operations, and they are kind of positive in earnings, except this most recent past trailing 12 months. They've kind of gone a little bit low, their cash flow from operations, but normally they have a history of being positive in cash flow from operations. That's important to note. If we take a look at their financial health, they have plenty of cash, it seems, about $133 million in cash, no debt, and the market cap of $1.3 billion. So they have about 10% of cash in their pretty much in their financial health. If we take a quick look at ownership, institutions already own a big player of this, right? BlackRock already owns 17.5. Vanguard already owns 10%. So that's actually interesting for such a small company. So take Quantum Leap, Faro, the all new. Oh, this is actually pretty interesting for sure. So So Faro arms, I think where I've worked before, they might have used it. And 3D imaging is very important, right? This is actually very important for manufacturing, for automation, and for, I want to say, production. You want to make sure, especially with automation, if you're making some form of robot to do some form of automating task, you need to make sure you plan everything to like the millimeters of measurements. So it all depends on how they're that's where I've seen it used, right? 3D imaging is very good for automations, because when you have some form of robots, when you have some form of thing, you need to be very, very careful, especially with some of these smaller items. Sometimes you're measuring something very small. You want to make sure things are strongly measured. So I can definitely see the market for this right off the bat, thanks to that video. Aerospace and defense, I can definitely see it in those markets hitting really, really big. If you are ever in the aerospace and the defense market, I think that's a huge opportunity, especially if you're such a small company, a market cap of $1.2 billion. And they have, I'll have to take a quick look at this one later on, Duck. But I'm already super, super interested in this market, especially since they are hitting the aerospace and defense industry with such a small market cap. I actually just want to take a quick look at their investors presentations, investors relations. Let's see. Come on, investors relations. Good morning, folks. What's going on, Ben? Investors relations overview. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Do they have any financial releases? Let's see. Financial releases. They did release on July 28th of 2021 their overall information. I just want to see what type of growth they're seeing. So total sales are $82.1 million, represents at 8% sequential growth compared to the first quarter of 2021. That's pretty good. And 36% increase compared to the same time last year. The sequential sales increase represents typical market seasonality, while the year-over-year growth was primarily a result of pandemic results related software in the prior year. Similarly, order bookings increase. All right, so first thing I want to say, right? So they did see strong growth year-over-year, right, Doug? And quarter-over-quarter. That year-over-year growth, they're saying it's due to the last year they had kind of weakness in the market, very understandable. The quarter-over-quarter growth is because of the overall seasonality. So nothing really screaming amazingness in my opinion right now, but the overall market I think is pretty good. Doug, I really wouldn't mind doing a more analysis on this company later on, but I do like where it's at, and actually thank you for bringing this one up. I actually want to save it in my list for stocks to look at later on. So Doug gave me Faro. Pretty interesting. So let's see. What else do we have? Ben Perez, good morning, folks. SE down a little bit. Yeah, let's keep it going so I can eventually get some more. C Limited, I mean, how do you guys feel about that expansion into Poland, right? So that's, we can see C stock price right now. It's down 2.2%. Right now, I mean, these are levels last seen, not even seen Friday, right? I mean, Friday it was at 339. So stock price is down, but in the past 5 days, it's still up 1.6%. They had a weak year, but the price reflects that. Oh, that is true, right, Doug? I did not think about that. Doug, when we take a look at Faro, stock price has definitely taken quite a hit. Doug, I do want to say, from just experience-wise in that market, aerospace and defense market, I can definitely see a huge market in that. And if they already have customers in there, I think there's huge potential in that company. So just from prior experience, company looks good in forms of where it's at. Fundamentals also don't look so bad, but I definitely want to take a closer look at maybe some of those spec sheets and some of those cameras and 3D imaging software hardware that they have. It's a little too ambitious for C, I think. In the short-term run, I think every earnings will look pretty bad, but long-term can have a lot of potential. I agree, right, Ben Perez? C Limited, that expansion to Poland. I think there's other markets out there. At the same time, that Poland expansion is all sources are the ones talking about it. C Limited hasn't really announced it. So they might be announcing other countries. I think like Spain, maybe something else that had better ports or had better travels. I know there's this very big European railroad that's used for exports and imports. I wonder if Poland, I don't know, is kind of within that railroad or wherever they're starting. So that can kind of help out a bit with logistics, in my opinion. So I would say if one's entering in Europe, especially as an e-commerce company, you would want to look, and obviously their management, right? They know what they're doing. But I want to say logistics plays a huge role, and that would be something like ports where they can kind of ship items, or locations next to railroads where they are able to kind of have easier logistic ways to move around things. But I'm not too much familiar with the European infrastructure. Maybe someone else out there can kind of explain, hey, Poland might actually be a good way because of that infrastructure and because of the logistics that they might have within the logistic ease they might have there. So guys, what are some other questions we have? Do we have any other questions you guys want to take a quick look at? Right now, let's take a quick look at the market again. Let's take a quick look home. Dow, the more I look at it, the more red it goes, and I'm not too excited. Dow down 0.46%, Nasdaq down 0.93%. Look at that. The S&P 500 took a huge red flag, down 0.51%. So remember, guys, during red days, this is not times to worry, right? Especially if we're invested in strong companies. Just sit back, enjoy, maybe kind of make a list of what are some buying opportunities you want to look at in the past. But as long-term investors, the volatility, that's what's the market's, that's what creates buying opportunities in the market, right? This volatility. So usually when things go down, if you sell, you're more likely going to lose money opposed to make money. But buying down, even though, right, it's 1% day, we are kind of sitting at all-time highs in some of these indexes still. So it's always good to kind of take a step back and look at things in a better time frame. But we can see not much is green. Big tech is down still. Only one really kind of driving is Disney, Amazon, Tesla, maybe some Starbucks. But Ben Perez, I want to see how they do in South America first before they keep expanding. Very true. I wonder if they just need to expand first and kind of make some form of name on themselves before too much competition. So there's too many questions, right? There's definitely a too early to go, but there's also, if you wait too long, it might be bad. So it's very hard for management, in my opinion, to really kind of come out with the perfect answer. But this was the first expansion I wasn't too happy about. So is anybody here thinking of buying UiPath? UiPath down 10% right now, $56. This is pretty much, it's one of its 52-week highs, 52-week lows. 52-week lows about $55.38. We're really kind of sitting around those prices. Great company. I do believe valuation is still a bit high, in my personal opinion. There might be some better opportunities out there. I just actually want to see how BTC prices are doing today. It's the overall market. So BTC, let's see, CoinMark. So Bitcoin is down. I know yesterday they saw a huge dip almost to the 44,000s. Let's take a quick look at maybe Ethereum as well. Those are probably the only two main cryptos I know. Ethereum is at 3,300. Yesterday there was like that flash crash that dropped it almost to $3,000. So Julie, are you holding on to Huya? Yes, for sure. I mean, definitely not the time for me to sell Huya, especially with all this negativity, bearish sentiment with it. So Huya still holding on to it, Julie. I do believe sometimes even holding onto a company and just not adding onto is a better move than just selling it outright. Just my personal opinion though, Julie. If you're in Poland, if you are in UE, they may advertise to other countries as well. You know, Poland, was that where Netflix kind of... It's actually interesting. Now that I think about it, random thought, Netflix, gaming... Was it Poland that they started too? So what's going on with Poland? Are they just very friendly? Are they just very company friendly? Because now that you reminded me, Duck, I don't know how you reminded me, but Netflix started their testing of Android games for users in Poland. So I mean, is Poland the country to move into? Is that that's the real question? That all these companies are starting off there. Are they the first to try basis? So just random thought there, but just wanted to remind people about Netflix gaming out there. Let's take a quick look at how Netflix is also doing. Netflix is another one that's not big, and it's not in my portfolio, but it's not one I would be mad if it was. Let's look at Netflix. Right now, it's actually a bit overextended. Why Poland, right? That's the question, right, Gordon? Why Poland? So first Netflix, now see limited. Why Poland? That's the real question. First, but Netflix definitely a bit overextended. Very interesting, right? It was kind of trading around this price range. I'm guessing now that we're having talks about this Delta variant. The Delta variant talk right now, people are going back into some of these big players in the streaming world. So Netflix I'm guessing, is kind of doing well because of that. I don't think there's any other real reason Netflix, but Netflix is one that we can see for the past year was just kind of trading in this trend. And it looks to be breaking out. What do you, Sergio? What's going on, Sergio? Me thinking buy. Dennis, on which one, Netflix or which one are you thinking? Dennis, Sergio, what do you think about Mew? So maybe cheapest wages in W, is it? No, I'm not too familiar about that. Maybe we can definitely look at that. So Micron Technology, right off the bat, I do want to say this 70 levels is probably a huge support level, Sergio, for Micron Technology, right? Right off the bat, the stock is definitely not overextended. I do believe a good portion of the risk has gone down. One of the biggest things affecting Micron Technology right now, Sergio, is the overall pricing in memory. Memory is expected to continue to go down, so investors are not too happy about that. Let's take a quick look. But overall, Micron, I want to say strong companies. Definitely strong company. They are expected future growth to grow 15.7% on average for the next 3 to 5 years, so strong growth. I do believe the technology boom is still happening. Memory, we still need memory for everything, mobile devices. If I'm bullish about AR glasses in the next 5 years, virtual reality in the next 5 years, they're gonna need a lot of memory for products like that. Mobile's not going anywhere. Gaming is not going anywhere. Computers are not going anywhere. Data centers are not going anywhere. So I do see this kind of market still growing. And so do analysts. 15.7% health. Financially, they have a nice amount of cash. They have definitely a nice amount of debt, but they're not leveraged. Overall, Micron fundamentally looks good. Technically looks good. I do believe the biggest impact for this stock right now is just the overall talks of memory prices going down. Let's take a quick look at MU and EV to EBITDA prices. Look, this is actually interesting. Looking at Micron's Technologies EV to EBITDA prices, expectations forward, right now is sitting at 3.8%. These are some of the cheapest levels is seen in the past year or so. So definitely something to keep in mind of. So definitely something, but this is July, August of 2020. So nothing too crazy. But right now, definitely looking pretty cheap compared to historical numbers, Sergio. This is actually a bit interesting now. I might have to take a closer look at Micron in the closer. So, Dewey, I think Delta variant is pretty big deal. I expect home stocks to go back on. Dewey, thanks for your thoughts, right? We're definitely seeing that with pretty much with e-commerce are going up like C Limited. We see that with Netflix going up. Maybe it might be buying opportunity for some of the fitness stocks as well, right? They might kind of get a nice bump on those online fitness stocks like Body, like Peloton, and some of the other players. It's definitely one of the poorer countries. Lots of Poles come here to work. Okay, Doug, thanks for sharing that. I did not know. Sergio, love your channel, man. Thanks, Sergio. Appreciate the support. I've seen you a lot here. Sergio, I just want to say thank you for the support. It means a lot. Thinking to buy UiPath for sure, right, Dennis? I mean, I definitely see UiPath as a strong company. I don't have. I want to say the only negative thing about UiPath I can say is the valuation, right? It's definitely a bit overvalued compared to where the stock price is at right now. But UiPath is not a company I would buy for the now. It's a company I would buy for the future. So this is one that I believe will continue to be very, very volatile in the market. And there might be times when, sorry guys, man, my hair is in my eyes. There might be times where this company can give us better buying opportunities. But right now, this is the best buying opportunity this company has seen. ARK owns a good portion of this. Some other big tech people own it a lot. I know, for example, Beth, who's huge in Twitter, talks a lot about this company, UiPath. I think some of the big Twitter names, Beth, I think Peru, they all own UiPath. So some big guys are there, right? Some big investors or investors that are in the market are definitely in this company right now. I am going to be curious to see if ARK Investor buys any more today. I'm pretty sure investors are expecting it. I wonder if they don't, if investors are going to be a bit worried. So if that's actually a probability, right? If UiPath, if today ARK sends out their letters and they did not buy any UiPath, even though they own it, I think in all their ETFs, it kind of might create some sort of negative short-termness on ARK, and that might be even a better opportunity. Just overall thoughts, not saying it's going to happen, just overall thoughts. I know ARK watches my podcast and my things because a lot of the stocks I talk about, they end up buying. So just an idea out there. Better buying opportunity if they don't buy today. So guys, are there any other stocks you guys want to take a quick look at today? Right now, right, if you guys are not familiar with me, my name's Jose Najarro. I am a stock market investor. I have about a little bit over 6-figure portfolio. Let's make it 7 figures by the next 5 years. That's the goal, right? 7 figures by the next 5 years. And I hope to get there. But I'm a long-term investor. I mainly focus in the semiconductor industry and the tech. Make sure to join the Discord channel. It's free. I post every time I buy. I post every time I sell. I do weekly series on stocks I'm planning to buy on Thursdays. So I share a lot of great information to the community, guys. I'm not saying I know it all, but I definitely study in this market. I definitely study in the technology market for sure. So there might be some truth to what I say from time to time. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I just want to say thank you guys for coming to the stream today. I appreciate the support. Ed, thank you for the $5 donation. Appreciate Julie. Thanks for being a member. Gordon, thanks for being a member. David, Bill, Sergio, everybody, Dave Silva, David Becker, Austin, Knight, thank you guys for coming along and just kind of being a member of this community. So guys, thank you so much again. I'll see you guys later today. I will be posting a few more videos. But in the meantime, have a good day. And remember, during these red days, guys, let's not freak out. Things are going to be okay. It's just volatility in the market. So peace.